Liora stirred, the echo of that ancient scream still reverberating in the hollow spaces of her mind. Her limbs felt heavy, her body not entirely hers anymore, as if some essential piece of her had been left behind in that blinding moment of fusion. The air was thick with ash and static. Around her, shards of the collapsed crystal tower flickered dimly. The once vibrant veins of golden light now dull and cracked, bleeding sparks into the stillness. Aegis's voice broke through again, weak but steady. "Liora, you did it. The binding holds, for now, but you're not alone in there." She pushed herself upright, gritting her teeth against the soreness. "What do you mean?" A silence stretched, unnerving. Then, a ripple. Not a glitch, not random. Something shifted across her hadi, like a breath against glass, intimate, watching. "The interface reacted to your DNA," Aegis said slowly. "But it didn't just accept you, it merged with you. There's something else in your neural signature now. Not hostile, not yet." Liora's fingers twitched. Her gloves felt too tight. The suit wasn't just calibrated to her anymore, it was tuned, alive in ways it hadn't been before. She could feel the tower beneath her, the source itself, like a sleeping pulse curled behind her consciousness. Coiled and waiting. Not dead, not entirely contained. It wasn't speaking. It was listening. Outside, the golden city groaned under its own weight. Without the full containment field, reality had begun to splinter further. Buildings flickered in and out of sync, overlaying impossible architecture across fractured streets. Cathedrals twisted with warships, ruins from futures that never were. Through the cracks in the tower's walls, she saw stars peeling away like paint, sky folding in upon itself. "We have to go," she muttered, turning toward the corridor. But it wasn't there anymore, only collapsed stone and the low hiss of unraveling energy. "No viable path," Aegis confirmed. Rerouting, then a new voice, softer, slipped into her thoughts, not through the helmet, not over comms inside. "This isn't over. They will come for me again, and when they do, you'll be the only one they fear." Liora froze, breath catching. "Who are you?" "The first mind, the last wound. I was their mistake. You are their reckoning." Aegis's signal spiked sharply. Neural contamination rising. "Liora, you need to disengage now or risk permanent cognitive fusion. We don't know how deep this interface runs." She barely heard him. A low hum had begun to rise from beneath the floor, growing louder as golden light cracked through the stone, forming a lift, jagged and sputtering but functional. Shadows surged at the city's edge, their forms coalescing, not retreating. "Kael was right," she said under her breath. "They're regrouping." Aegis didn't reply right away. Then grimly, "The other spires across the system, at least 3 have failed. Their containment fields are offline. Something's waking them, Liora." The lift engaged with a roar, flinging her upward through the spine of the collapsing tower. Light and data spiraled past her, glimpses of things not meant to be seen. Timelines knotted into loops, memories that weren't hers, planets that had never existed. A hand reached toward her from one shard of fractured space, a child's hand, and then it was gone. Above, the sky had split. Through the rift, she saw ships descending, not hers, not human, not even bound by gravity. They shimmered in and out of visibility, phasing with each second, as though unsure whether they belonged in this reality. Aegis buzzed in again. "Patch to the ship is open, roots barely holding. I've got the engines primed." As her boots slammed against the stone at the edge of the tower's upper platform, Liora didn't hesitate. She ran. The golden field protecting the city began to retract, collapsing inward like a dying breath. From its frayed edges, the darkness surged. Creatures dragging themselves forward on limbs they hadn't had moments before, claws scraping against the folds of reality. Behind her, that voice returned. Calmer now, closer. "The others will hear you now, but not all are allies." Liora gritted her teeth. No time for fear, no time for doubt. This wasn't the end, it was the beginning of... The ground lurched. A massive shadow landed just ahead of her. A figure towering above the landing zone, sleek and plated in obsidian armor that reflected no light. Its face was smooth, faceless, until it shifted, mirroring her own features back at her. warped and wrong. Her breath caught. "Aegis, what is that?" "It's you," he whispered, "but not from this reality." The doppelganger stepped forward, head tilted, like it recognized her, like it remembered something she hadn't lived yet. It raised its hand. Energy gathered at its palm, and then blackout.